Uh.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome into the ARS All-Star Race here tonight. 180 laps around the North Wilkesboro Speedway, throwing it back to an all-time classic. As always, here with my co-commentator in the booth tonight. Art, how we doing?
I'm pretty excited. We've got 180 laps around historic North Wilkesboro Speedway, and I believe they actually chose the ARCA car, not the Gen 4.
Yeah, so hard to drive, throwing it up. A little bit of a curveball for these drivers here tonight. We got the best of the best from the Next Gen Series and the Next Up Series. Let's go ahead and get you right into the on-track action as qualifying is already underway. Currently top of the charts, Cabe McClenny. He is
Not
doing
a
some
big
work
surprise there.
in the Next Up Series. Sartaj Mayan, 49 here tonight, sets off on his first lap. Gonna try and build momentum on his first lap. Where he puts him for lap number 2.
We should all pick Ramp. You pick Ramp.
First lap, the 49 machine goes P3. He starts to arc the corner a little bit lower. Let's see what he can do here on the fast lap. Really aggressive into turn number 3. Back into the car, sliding out over the bumps. Powers up loose off of 4, fighting it all the way across the line. It's good enough for third.
He went slower that lap.
He was pushing just a little bit hard and slightly overstepped the line there. Take a look here. What Zach Range can do.
Nick Miller jumps up to P2.
Range P7 from the Next Up Series. A couple other noticeable names from the Next Up Series. Cale McClenny, the brother of Cabe. He'll start P5 here tonight. Then we also have Doug Ezel from the Next Up Series as well. Be an interesting one here. $50 to the race winner. $25 goes to the runner-up tonight. In third place gets a whole wad of nothing. A high five from league owner Michael McElroy. While still valuable, not cold, hard cash. So
I'm going to be honest. He offers that up as a prize. Someone could, make him dish it out. That could be more expensive than,
It could.
Like, imagine that man lives,
Absolutely,
away.
yeah.
Go visit.
Yeah.
I'd be trying to get my high five.
But with a minute left, it doesn't look like anyone else is going to head out for a lap.
Yeah. 16 people here tonight.
Dale is just having a good old time in the background. He's excited for All-Star Night. But we've completed the 2 laps of qualifying to set the field for 180 laps, 55% fuel capacity, fuel run estimated anywhere from 80 to 90 laps, all dependent on driver input. 5 sets of tires, 1 to start with, 4 in the pits, 0 fast repairs, and 3 green-white checkers if needed. Here tonight at North Wilkesboro, no points on the line, just bragging rights and $50 for the race winner, $25 for second, and a high five for third.
Honestly, I would take $50 over some points.
I would too. It's a good night. But here we go. We're getting ready to grid up here. Not under the lights. We're doing it midday.
That really ruins my my tweet. Do they even have lights here?
They do.
Well, then I'm set.
They do in terms of, you know, like real life, but I don't believe that they have it in the sim. So they're doing the best they can.
Forgot I had voice chat enabled.
But let's see how we got. How many do we have grid up officially? We had a late entry or 2. I believe, like you said, it'll be.
I believe it's just 16.
16. I don't think league owner Michael McElroy is going to be participating.
We know Corbin's not.
Corbin Simmons joined as race control, but he is joined as a driver, but he is the race control here for tonight. We're gridding up. And it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Picks to Win.
Gabe McClinney.
Gabe McClinney, you're going with the pole sitter.
Taking it before you came. Yeah.
Yeah, who did win the fan vote? I didn't actually see that. Oh, I know it was announced, but I just hadn't seen it.
I also haven't seen it. I didn't look for it, though.
I didn't vote. I'm not allowed to have biases. Doug Ezel from the Next Up got the fan vote.
Nice. I voted. I just didn't vote for
So it looks like, yeah, Corbin and McElroy. So 16 drivers here tonight going to be stepping it up. Dale wins it in my heart. You picked the pole sitter. I'm going to go with the outside pole, Nick Miller, the Season 1 champion of the Affinity Racing Series. He's had some rotten luck. He missed the playoffs for Season 2 due to some internet connection issues, no fault of his own. But tonight, the internet's going to stay with him for 180 laps, and he's going to get it done.
At least you hope so.
I certainly hope so.
He's got the paint scheme for it. A little Bill Elliott throwback.
Listen, if it doesn't hold out, though, there's really, I mean, you lose $50, $25. It's not as heartbreaking as, missing the playoffs altogether. So really, you just go for broke and hope the hamster wheel in the background provides enough internet to last 180 laps here tonight.
I'm telling you right now, that is a Bill Elliott throwback.
That's not a Casey Kane throwback.
No one's throwing back to Casey Kane. Max, what do you think? Is Dale going to join CMS one day?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to keep him in-house.
He's a YG driver through and through.
But really, Randy has got the best paint scheme here tonight. He wins best paint scheme.
To you. And you didn't even pick him.
Right. I want him to do better. So, right now he's in position for the high five, but this is the second pace lap. We're going racing. North Wilkesboro, all-star race. ARCA car's hard to drive. Gabe McClinney going to get us underway. We're already loose off of the start. Nick Miller loses 3-4 spots right off the rip as they head into turn number 1.
We got cars around. We got to pile up. 53 of William Bowman. Who else? Oh, he piles in. Who is this? Ooh.
William Bowman, Magnus Anderson,
Tennell.
Andrew Tennell in the 45 machine. Let's take a look at what happened.
Oh, William. Just the actual ARCA break because it's the ARCA cars from William. But Tennell.
Heading off into... So actually, there was a gap even on the restart behind Magnus. Head off into 1, and Casey Brown nowhere to go. Tennell just too late into the corner. William Bowman comes flying in, and Doug's able to miss it all. Let's go on board here with Doug Ezel. Let's take a look through his eyes. He just sneaks right through the middle. But him and William Bowman starting a couple car lengths back. And let's go on board with the 53 of William Bowman. Heads off into turn number 1. The bottom, I mean, there really wasn't anywhere for him to go. Mistakes.
He's just really late on the brakes.
Yeah, but I think he was hitting someone regardless. Mistakes here tonight will be punished. Not a whole lot of room. Obviously, short track racing. Even here's Nick Miller right off the start. He comes off turn number 4. Gasses it up and almost loops it in front of the entire field into the wall. And he does lose 4 positions in half a lap. What a start to this all-star race. We got guys trying to fix some damage already. We saw these guys last week in the non-broadcasted all-star opens, and these cars were incredibly difficult to drive. And it's looking like
the ARC cars. I just like them at, speedways, because that's all I can do.
And it's looking like more of the same here tonight. Very difficult to handle. And you won't be able to get a lot of pit time done because of the short nature of this track. So you're really going to William Bowman 20 seconds at a time.
Oh, by the way, 18-yard gallop by Dak for a touchdown.
Well, it's over. That's all right. Let him.
I need that to Pollard.
Yeah. But everybody's still on the lead lap. Bowman catching back up to the field here, and keep your eyes peeled for the second restart of the night here. It's going to be...
You actually took the outside this time.
It's an interesting decision, so I guess he's just trying to learn stuff here early. 180 laps, long time to learn, and he is away. And they'll be side by side for second. Looks like a little cleaner start there. And the 05 is clear.
I think I know what he wanted to do. He wanted to get up there and be in front of his brother so they could get a good restart together.
And that 07 of Cale McClenny. First time we've seen him on the YJ Media channel. He's trying to make that pass around the outside. It's going to be a McClenny 1-2. He gets around Randy Arms, and this 07, he's up 3 positions. Now what does he do to pass his brother?
Give me a bump and run. I'd wreck my brother for a race.
Oh, 100%. For $50?
You wrecked Corbin's brother for a
Yes,
race.
I did. And there was no money on the line. It's like Doug Ezel. He's going to round on the back straightaway. Let's take a look. He'll get it straightened out, and he's side by side with Casey Brown. Don't know if there's
There's
any...
a little contact. I think maybe a little neck code.
Oh, with Justin Johnson. Oh, and that's heavy damage for the fan vote winner. And he's got to come under green, and that could be his chances done before they ever really got started. Let's go on board here. The driver of the 05 machine.
No, I really wish more drivers decided to run throwbacks. Watching, the 9 and the 8 go at it, just, it's fun,
It does bring back some core childhood memories as we go on board here, and the 05 providing his driver camera again tonight. You can see it's a little bit difficult. A little bit of counter steering required. This car's a little bit fragile, but got the clean air, and he's out front over his brother behind him. The laps tick off quickly here. And his brother, Cale, putting on all the pressure. He's going to have a look to the inside here. The 07 slide job up in front of the 05, and he'll take the spot away. First lead change of the night. It's a McClenny to a McClenny.
Yeah, I believe they both race, in real life, late models, so the talent should be there.
You got the real life experience, got the Wednesday night experience.
Yeah, surprised we haven't seen Kale up in next gen. Maybe he's not able to, make it usually.
Randy has not dropped off this battle, though. He's only half a second behind. Nick Miller has rebounded from 6th to 4th after getting loose on the initial start of the race. Kyle Ritchie joined late, couldn't complete a qualifying lap. He is up 6 positions ahead of Magnus Anderson, involved in the lap 1 scuffle. He's up 4 in the 9th position. Looks like we have lost Doug Ezel after that big collision on the back straightaway. So we're down to 15 drivers, as we are through the first 18 laps here tonight.
Tenth of the race now and gone.
A lot of single file so far.
I was honestly kind of worried, but also it was first lap jitters. But if we, gotten multiple in a row, I would have been disappointed. So I'm very happy to see that we've been able to go green.
As the field works their way into turn number 3 here. Got a battle for 3rd heating up.
These two going at it, they're going to bring Sartaj into the fight here, too.
He is down 1 spot. He started in the 4th position, trying to get back up there, and with that side-by-side in front of him, it's going to allow him to do just that. Zach Range making his debut on the YJ Media channel. Is excited about that. Mentioned it pre-race, and he's doing a nice job right now. Up 1 spot from the 7th position where he started, and he's putting all sorts of pressure on that 49 machine of Sartaj man. Good 3-way fight there. Really a 4-way fight. Chad Adams, another next up driver. He's sitting inside the top 7. Nintendo trying to get around Casey Brown. He's going to send it way deep into turn number 3. And here's an interesting look at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. You can see there Devin Galvin in danger of going a lap down. And you can kind of see everyone else follow in behind him, the side-by-side there between the 45 and the 5. The overhead view. Get away with this on short tracks and call all the action just like this if you wanted, but we'll zoom in a little bit and follow the action a bit closer. These are all wrapping bottom through 3 and 4, trying to arc that corner. Now, Nintendo has a bit of an off. He was battling pretty hard with Casey Brown, and he just loops it. No contact from the 5, and he will avoid that inside guardrail.
Yeah, he just looks to gas it up out of 2 a little too early.
Trying to complete the pass. Right now, the McClenny brothers with their late model experience dominating the short track of North Wilkesboro. Through the opening.
First bit of lap traffic.
Yeah, well, the 05 got a good run there through 3 and 4. Miller does get around Randy for 3rd. He started at 2nd, so we know he's got some speed. He's only 0.8 off the race lead.
He's starting to really pull in on these two.
His last lap was a 19.5 compared to a 19.7 for the McClenny brothers.
All 3 of them ran 19.5s. I think they saw Nick Miller start to close up. They're like, wait a minute.
We got to get going here. But the 95 could impact this race. Let's take a look at what he does. Evan Galvin for TGR. He's going to give the leaders the inside line, the preferred line. Very respectful. And the McLennan brothers will go on by. When Miller sideways off of turn number 3, he's going to try and get by the 95. Miller's still stuck behind that 95. Close battle on track is for the race lead. You love to see it. Just as a reminder. We had a week off last week and kind of at the midway point of the season, about to start playoffs next week. In Lives Foundation, the partnership between ARS and the ILF, has raised over $685 for charity, as we are well on our way to hitting the goal. $1,000 raised for this incredible organization. The donation link is pinned in chat. If you'd like to find out more information about them or donate to that awesome cause, it is incredibly tight between the top two. And one little wiggle could lead to an awkward meeting between the brothers.
I'm pretty sure they still live, like, together. So, like, just pull up Cabe's cam and just see his brother come in and start fighting.
And 36 laps, and it has been pretty much split evenly between the 07 and the 05. Looking to take home all the profits for themselves. The 05 was looking to the inside, trying the outside, running out of real estate either direction. They've been pretty much in their tire tracks the entire night. They're doing a nice shot. Oh, the 07 in the wall. The 05 pounces.
I don't think we have a way to actually contact the McLennies. They're not in their next up position.
Taking a look at how this move was done, heading off into turn number 1. He just rides too high, just a half second late on the turn-in, and you're up in the outside wall. No major damage, though. And Kale will try and regroup. A little bit of a scratch there, but shouldn't be anything too serious. As Kyle Ritchie continues his charge. He's up 7 positions. He's tracking down Zach Range in a appropriately seasonal theme in the 043. Halloween coming up. The real holiday is November 1st, when all the cheap candy goes on sale at all major retailers.
Of course, that's what you look forward to.
Right?
It is great.
Getting just bags and bags of candy.
What's the best? You know what? We're starting. What's the best Halloween candy?
Best Halloween candy. We're 2 weeks too early, but oh, jeez.
Hey, as though this conversation couldn't last for 2 weeks.
Fair enough.
It's one of the most debated topics in food. Like,
so we gotta start. Are you a chocolate person or kind of a sweet person? Like sweet or sour? That kind of is where the conversation will have to be started.
I like all.
No, you see.
Fat, right? Right, like if I have to choose, my number 1 Halloween candy is the pumpkin-shaped Reese's. Like a thin layer of chocolate and then the peanut butter.
Yeah, see, that's kind of like the Reese's egg for me. It almost can't be beat. Reese's eggs are undefeated. But for me, it's got to be like a full-size Kit Kat. You get like that one house that gives away full-size candies. That was always
give away full-size candies deserve like everything.
I'm trying to think though. What was I like? Oh man. I always loved Twixes. I got a bunch of the Hubba Bubba all the time. I always got a lot of gum. I was never that interested. Weird. Chad Adams is around. He's going to be able to back it out of the guardrail. Take a look at what happened here to the 3 machine, and he was sideways for the entirety of the backstretch. Loose out of 2. Overcorrects one more time. Into the outside wall. Into the inside guardrail. And he was all sorts of out of shape. And he will back it up. He does the right thing. Puts it in the guardrail again. But he gets it going safely. And out of the way of his fellow competitors. And he'll have to bring it in under green flag conditions. So Doug Ezel, Chad Adams struggles for some of the next step drivers, but not Cabe McClenny or Cale McClenny. But it does look like that right side damage has affected this 07 just a little bit. Well, he did have right side damage. It looks like it fixed itself now, but nevertheless, the 07 machine is dropping back over a second behind his brother. He's got Nick Miller half a second on him, and Kyle Ritchie got around Zach Range for 6. He's all after Sartaj Man now to crack the top 5. He's going to have a power move to the inside. He'll take that spot away. He's only 4.5 seconds off the lead here. We'll see if this 76, who's in the 42 paint scheme tonight, can keep up the charge. Take a look at his pass on Zach Range into turn number 3 as well. He's using that inside line. Back to the throttle first. Powers off of turn 4. He'll take the spot away.
Ooh, we got Randy Arms in for pits.
That's interesting. And just before this, I'd be... Oh, never mind. It said Chad Adams had passed Justin Johnson, but that was just because internet connection glitched there for the 33. But Randy's in 4 tires and fuel. He's going to try and pull the Kyle Larson, like he did in real life, pit way before the expected fuel run. And he'll be the quickest car on the racetrack, doing something a little bit different. No points on the line, just all about the win here tonight.
Ooh, and we have lost Chad Adams. He's disconnected due to upload a packet loss.
Now there's 14 cars, and it's going to bring in Casey Brown as well. So Randy attracting some potential suitors, and we'll see how quickly he gets around this 95 on the fresh tires. His first lap at speed will be... As he crosses the line, he was making a pass. It was a 19.12, 7/10 faster than anybody else. Casey Brown, 4 tires and fuel. He's down and away. 14-second stop.
Oh, we got a car, 2 cars around in front of Randy, and the caution is out.
And that is absolutely not what he wanted to see. He will get the lucky dog, I believe. He should. It looks like this was Magnus Anderson and Zach Range. So head off into turn number 3. Oh, and the 043 was pitting. And the 7 had no idea. Oh my.
We're going to have to start calling out cautions, or not cautions, pits.
Let's take a look at it here. I mean, just on board with him.
Oh, he called his pit?
So either Magnus has voice chat off or just didn't hear it, but he had, I mean, he just drove straight through me. I had no idea. So I'm not sure. Like, clearly, I mean, that was obviously missed for whatever reason. And with all that, he's going to stay out on the racetrack with some damage, and Justin Johnson going to stay out as well. And I don't think that'll work out for him too well. Here comes Magnus, and here comes Justin Johnson, I was about to say. Fair enough, then. Not sure what happened with Magnus missing that, then. And that is tough for Randy. He actually loses the tire advantage now. And he again gets put in right in the middle of the pack. But this gets Nick Miller the track position. We'll see if he can chase down Cade McClenny.
Conspiracy theory says Magnus wanted a caution.
Oh, man. Yeah, bad luck there for Casey Brown as he had not yet. Oh, well, he'll get the wave round, though. Never mind. Very good. Very good. Got some left rear damage there a little bit, but he'll be back on the lead lap. Devin Galvin. Or he'll be getting to 1 lap down. He lost 2 on pit road. That's right. Let's see what's going on here. So, yeah, Devin Galvin back on the lead lap. Casey Brown will go from 2 to 1 down. Hard luck for him that he wasn't able to cycle through. William Bowman just leaving the pits says, hey, what's the race for? As we are a third of the way through the All-Star race. Form up 2 by 2. Casey Brown, the one and only car lap down, so he only needs 1 more caution. He'll be right back in it. So enter the...
Oh, and Nick Miller is loose again on the restart.
So that's 2 times he started from second on that outside and been loose. This time he holds it a little bit better, but the 07... Gonna dive it in deep into turn number 3, and he's looking to take that second spot back away. It is yet again a McClenny 1-2. They're scrambling around.
Fully clear. Ooh, Nick Miller, he's gonna be on the wall.
Bounces off the wall, and he's still there. He's fighting hard. The 07 a little loose. And they are getting after it here. Hard but fair racing in the 9. Gonna take the spot away.
49's looking to do the same. The 07's up the track. It is spicy here.
Sartaj Man trying to crack the podium.
Nick Miller was on the inside of Cade McClenny. He almost gets him around. Cade just cuts his nose off.
Take another look at that. Oh, yeah, entering 3. Very aggressive. Yeah, Nick Miller has a track position now, and he's got a chance to show it again. The 05's shutting the door.
Yeah, I think the 05 is lucky these bumpers are raised as much as they are, or he probably would have gone around there.
Let's take a look on board here with Nick Miller. The 2-time winner this season, and yet still didn't make the playoffs, but your season 1 champion nonetheless. He's got
he's under pressure.
Got loads and loads of talent. Cale McClenny coming right back at him. Almost into the left where he has to kind of roll out of the throttle there. Yeah, it's not the Geico restart zone here tonight. It's the Holly Farms restart zone. That's what we'll call it. 3 cars separated by 0.4 of a second. The 07 on board, he's running about half a lane lower. In turns 1 and 2, and they're all glued to the bottom in 3 and 4 up over the bumps. Looks like they're catching Devin Galvin. He hasn't pitted yet. That's interesting. He needed the wave around. That's going to cost him dearly. He was hoping for a quick caution on the restart. He still might get it as these guys back here battling heavily. Andrew Tenold up over the curb. Oh, and he's almost into the 043's left rear. Justin Johnson trying to find a way through. Can't go 3 wide at North Wilkesboro.
You could. It just...
Oh, and there they go. They were 3 wide for a second. Proving me wrong immediately in some pretty incredible fashion. And Randy, even with it was a 6-lap difference on tires. He started 6th on the restart, back down to 10th. So tires here hugely important. Tenold's holding on to that 7th position, involved in the lap 1 crash, trying to recover. Doing so nicely right now, but Kyle Ritchie He's your biggest mover. He's up 9 positions. He's a second and a half off the lead. Doesn't look like he has the speed of the top 4 just yet. But if he sits there and bides his time, doesn't race too hard like these guys in the front 4 are doing, he might have a say at this as the race goes further and further into the night.
Man, I'm not a big fan of the sounds these cars are putting off. I keep hearing, like, I heard someone hit the wall hard, but I could not.
I think that was Devin Galvin. He hasn't pitted. He was hoping for a quick caution. A little bit of right side damage. Here he has Casey Brown catching him for the lucky dog spot. He's 6 seconds off, and he'll be hoping to catch back up before anyone else gets put a lap down. William Bowman, he's in that Reese's car. He's up 4 positions.
You say it like that.
You said you like Reese's. Isn't that Reese's car that you like?
Reese's.
Reese's, whatever. Recess. I'll call it Recess if you want.
Recess. Great TV show.
But I think here, as we work lap 76, obviously not even halfway into this race, the aggression just isn't there yet. You don't want to make any enemies in an all-star race if you don't have to. Getting down to the crunch time of the season. But I think if it's the last lap and it's this close, you might see someone get moved for 50 bucks.
I'd ship my mom for 50 bucks.
I agree
I
with
don't think
that.
there's a person I wouldn't ship for 50 bucks.
Yeah, fair enough.
You'd wreck your wife for 50 bucks.
I would. Good thing she can't drive. Andrew Tenold 7th. He's hanging on. Trying to keep these 2 guys behind him. Ooh, Randy. Very high up on entry. Let's go on board with Tenold. He also has provided his driver camera for tonight. And we'll see. Look how hard it is to drive, even down the back straightaway. He's trying to track down Magnus Anderson, get into the top 6. It's looking like a handful out there for a lot of people. Here's a battle for the lucky dog between Casey Brown and Devin Galvin. And the 5 machine on the fresher tires will complete the move. We are rapidly approaching lap 90, halfway. 18-second lap times. And with that, Devin Galvin's going to enter his pit lane, and I think that's going to be his night.
Left.
Yeah, not going to be a whole lot of cautions tonight. We might have one more. That would be Casey Brown's best case scenario. William Bowman, over half a lap down, as is Tony Scarbo. He's right there with Zach Range, so a couple of cars in danger of going a lap down. But we've seen a couple cars have problems tonight with just how uncontrollable they are, how loose they get. Randomly snapping off the exit of these corners.
Oh, Nick Miller is around. That car is destroyed.
He's right on the exit of turn number 4. Yellow is out. There's Casey Brown's lap, and just like we mentioned it, the unpredictability.
It was contact with Kale. Oh no.
Oh, he just gets into him, and why does it destroy the car like that? Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, he hits the barrier, but yeah.
Let's take another look at this and back it up. There they go through 3 and 4. Let's find a better angle of this. The 07 of Cale McClenny. And I mean, it is just the lightest contact. I mean, my goodness. I mean, he barely breathed on him. Wow. And it sent that 9 machine around. I mean, here we go. It doesn't get any closer than that. He might be a little loose before that. I'm not sure. I mean, it is that close. But the 07 being that close definitely lifted the air off the back of the 9, and there goes the front bumper. Looks like Andrew Tennant, I think he stayed out to lead a lap. No bonus points on hand tonight, but might as well. Casey Brown gets his lap back, and he'll come in. He's got to fix some damage. YJ Crew going to work. Left side's going on. Got to beat that pace car out. And they do. Nice work, fellas.
Nick Castellanos has also gone yard.
Phillies are really about to win the World Series. That's wild. Yeah, and the problem Nick Miller's going to have is, I mean, there's no front clip on that car. He's just going to have to get as much damage as he can fix, but he can only fix so much at a time. And there he is on pit road. Here comes the field. William Bowen out and away. He only fixed about 12, 14 seconds. We got to catch up to the field. 7 rows now. 6 of them double wide. William Bowman on row number 7 all by himself. We get ready to go back racing here. This will be the completion of the midway point of this race, and it's been the Cabe and Cale McClenny show. So they come off turn number 4, address the starter's stand. They're back underway.
They're going to have a little fight here from Sartaj.
Side by side for second off turn number 2. He got a great run, passes the 07, now looks to the inside of the 05. The 49 of Sartaj Man has come to play. He's got the best track position he's had all night. A little bit of a wobble there through turn number 2. He'll drop back by about half a car length. Gave it a great shot. Oh, and around he goes in front of the field, collecting the 07, the 7. William Bowman off the racetrack. Yellow is out.
I think we're going to have to give Cale McClenny a nickname. That man's out here taking out everybody. Even if it's unintentional.
He's defending his brother's honor. That's what he's trying to do. But here we go into 3 and 4. And that one was a bit more noticeable than the one he gave to Nick Miller. Definitely gives the 49 a shot. And here comes Kyle Ritchie. He says, I'm the first car through on the inside. The 07 gets a tangle. The 7 of Magnus, nowhere to go. Zach Range, Randy Arms through the middle. And the rest of them go through unscathed. William Bowman goes off track a little bit, but I'm sure Cave is like,
watching this. How has Cale not been given an EOL? Like, I feel like he was at fault for that first one too.
The first one honestly was so close. I can kind of see why race control would be like, well, you know, that one was a bit more obvious. And if I'm Cave, I'm like, listen, you can't wreck anyone that's immediately in second place behind me. I'm not.
Or maybe no, he's about to get targeted.
Or maybe he does. Maybe he does. You know, so I give you a retainer fee if you take out my competition. You know, younger brother stuff. Like, hey, just take him out. If you lose second, whoever gets second place, you take him out. So maybe there's an unspoken agreement. I'm sure that's not what's going on, but
Surely not.
I know if my younger brother was wrecking my competition, I'd be like, dude, you're making me look bad. Like, you're gonna get me. You're gonna get me wrecked, right? And then, you know, it's not a good look. Not a good look for the family. Not a good look.
The William brother name is not looking strong right now.
Right. But, yeah, Corbin, where's the EOL? We're not doing at-faults in the All-Star race? We just, the boys have at it?
No, because Tennell was given an EOL. Like, immediately for the first one.
Where is it at?
Put him on the spot.
Either way, it's good news for guys that got damaged. I know Magnus was involved in that wreck, but be able to just get a little bit more damage fixed. I mean, Nick Miller, he still doesn't have a front clip. He's been on pit road 4 times. A couple guys. Sartaj Man has to fix damage, and be very curious to see. And there is the EOL for Kale. I think Sartaj was showing him a little bit of displeasure there. Yeah, definitely was. He said, hey, how about that? Remember me? So that was a message there. Very curious to see what Kyle Ritchie can do. He's made it all the way up from 14th to 2nd. He's had some serious speed, so...
Fun little fact, by the way, Kale is going to be starting behind Nick Miller.
You can't send him around.
Is currently disabled, by the way.
Who, Kale's or Nick's?
Nick Miller. Probably for a good reason.
Got a lot of storylines right now as the 05 launches well. Zach Range is up into 4th. Let's just see.
Yeah. I think oh, we're going around. The 043 is around in front.
Front of the field. Yellow is out. William Bowman again. Oh, here we go. Zach Range. We just said, oh, he's doing nice. Highest he's run all night. And let's see here. I think he just gets loose up underneath Randy. Oh, he does. And here we go. And he is just loose. 15's not close enough. He was blinking, but that's not anything netcode. He is just loose. He snaps it, and Tennell gets him around into Casey Brown. And that was really it. That wasn't anything major there, but just that he gets loose underneath Randy, snaps it, and he's a little bit slow on the exit, and Tennell not quick enough to react. Gets him around. Casey Brown probably gets the worst of that, and Nick Miller and William Bowman, nice little escape route through the grass on the inside part of the racetrack. Let's go on board here with Tennell. He's probably thinking, yeah, I'm worried about Randy, and then the 043 slides up just a little bit, and he's arcing the corner, and there you go. A lap 100, 80 to go. Nick Miller still doesn't have a front clip. I mean, he's... How many times can you pit and they don't put that thing back on?
Yeah, get out that industrial strength duct tape.
With all that, it's still 13 cars on the lead lap. Out of the race, Devin, Galvin, Chad, Adams, and Doug Ezel. Is Nick Miller still asking his crew to put that front clip back on? Give him something. You can already see the leaders going around in the background. Doesn't have a whole lot of time. 25, 30 seconds per pit stop. Not like Talladega where you get 2 minutes of damage fixed and stay on the lead lap. He does have the benefit of the number 2 pit stall, so he can go right up to speed and away. Still no front clip. double file them up.
Say he's just on the end of this pack, actually. Able to make it through. Make it around, though.
We enter the restart zone. The 05 been launching good all night. That restart, no exception.
We might have 3 wide out. There's no chance he's going to back out of it.
Yeah, that hole closed quickly. Don't think there was one to begin with.
Ooh, and around goes
The 59 is Scarbo Magnus Anderson. That is 5 cars right there. 9th to 13th all involved somehow, some way on that one. Let's take a look. Looks like Scarbo might go around first.
It is a weird one.
I was about to say, does he come up into the 49 and get around? But
Ooh, the 07, it just like...
He's already, like, it looks like he's going to hit the 49, and he kind of slides up right so the 07's already at. I know Kale has had a couple incidents, but he's on the very bottom. And Kale is really, I mean, it's a late entrance. But he's able to do that because he arced the corner. The 59 was forcing himself to run the bottom, and then he slides up, and the 07 is right there anyways, but we'll see how race control calls that. Might be a racing deal, and around goes Scarbo nonetheless. Magnus slows up for that, gets plowed by Zach Range. William Bowman, nowhere to go. Nick Miller, nowhere to go. He saw that 07 bounce up in front of him. Let's go on board. And he gets run into the back of. Don't necessarily think that was an arc brake. It was all just the product of short track racing. They still haven't put the front clip on. He's not getting that one back. 7 times, 20 seconds a pop. They're just not going to give him a front clip.
Weird. Checking out, you know, potentially accusations in chat for that last caution. And, yeah, Tenold actually, like, does come down. Range saves it. But Tenold comes down, like, a lane.
Wait, what?
When Range gets loose under Randy, he saves it. But, like, he doesn't really, you know, wash that far of the track. Tenold comes off, like, the high line, down to the middle line.
We're talking about 2 cautions ago at this point. I don't remember it visually.
I know, I had to go back and look at it.
Interesting.
I was just curious. Because I didn't think much into it, because again, I mean, Range, he did get loose, but he did have it gathered back up.
The Wonder Bread pit crew just sitting there like, guys, we're not giving you the front clip. Stop coming down here. Like...
I like how Gabe went through and, like, got the...
Like, what does this guy keep doing? I mean, he's made 8 pit stops at this point. William Bowman has made 9. Your front 4 have made 2 each, so...
That is also true.
Is that a little bit of contact between Tenold and McClenny on the pace lap there? On the backstretch, it looked like a little bit. Come back to the green flag, though. Randy Arms to 2nd. Looks like we're all rolling good. Randy does get through. Tenold aggressive around the outside.
With the 49, Sartosh, he's loose. The 7's loose. I think the 7 might have had contact there.
It's all happening mid-pack right now. Here's something to think about. Cale McClenny, he pitted on lap 99 after that second caution he was involved in. He's got a little bit fresher tires now. He might be able to just run up here and take it. So getting involved in 2 cautions might be the best thing that's ever happened to this 07. And it looks like he's got the speed now. To the inside of the 45, Andrew Tenold. Tenold doing a nice job fighting back on that high side, though. He does wash up there a little bit. 12 lap older tires, and the 07 up to third. Justin Johnson's trying to find a way through. A lot of single file for now. 13 cars on track, all on the lead lap. But it has been all Cabe McClenny with a brief stint from his brother Cale leading this race tonight, with a couple guys staying out picking off laps here or there, but it has been the McClenny show tonight. The reason why we haven't seen more of Cale McClenny is he's only run 3 races in the Next Up series. And his brother has run all 8 of them, picking up 3 wins in the process. But one would think if Cale runs full time, he'd be right up there for the instant promotion with his brother.
I have no idea.
Well, he's putting on a show tonight, so you would think he's got some speed. Yeah, that or he really loves North Wilkesboro.
And the ARCA cars.
So Kyle Ritchie went off track in all of this. Go on board. Oh, and it's Justin Johnson getting loose and down into the 76/42. Yeah, we've seen that a lot. He just gasses it up too early, gets sideways, and absolutely nothing the 42 could have done about it. So single car off track, and unfortunate for the Abilene machine. He still is on the lead lap, over half a lap down though. And coming to 60 laps to go, he is running out of time. There's the closest battle on track right now. It's Justin Johnson. I just saw him, and he's trying to get around Casey Brown. Sartaj Mann trying to hold off Magnus Anderson. And then Cabe McClenny trying to hold off Randy Arms. And Cale McClenny. Andrew Tenold 1.5 seconds back. Zach Range, right in 7th, right where he started.
I want to say a little surprised by the fight that Randy's been able to have here. He's kept the gap really close. Cale's still stuck behind him.
Yeah, let's quickly show you what we're talking about with Cale and the strategy that he's on. Obviously, being involved in 2 cautions after the halfway point of the race. He came down, pitted on lap 99. Gonna have a little bit fresher tires. Right now, stuck in this train of dirty air. And right now, they're all pretty evenly paced. Cabe McClenny, 19.31. Randy Arms, 19.34. And Cale McClenny, 19.42. So all within 1/10 of a second of each other. Kind of just ebbing and flowing right now. What do you have for these final 50 or so laps? Right now, the 07, you get nothing. Get a high 5, and that's about it. But $25 to second, $50 to win the Affinity Racing Series All-Star Race. We get down into crunch time. It's like, how close do you have to be as Randy? It's like, well, Cade McClenney is pretty much a guaranteed certainty if he can make it every Monday night. He's leading the point standings for next up, so he is invited. But he is technically not a next-gen driver officially. But do you want to move him for $50 in a non-points race when you know that he's going to come back next Monday as a next-up driver and he can ruin your chances of a next-gen championship?
Yes.
So interesting dynamics at play there. Running for 2 different series championships, the both of them, but they do see each other on track every Monday night. And as long as the 05 doesn't even have to continue his current performance, he can just get 10th every week now and he'd be promoted, so it's all but done now. The 05 gets promotion. So, does he remember that for next season if he moves them? But he's got to get there first. Probably needs another 2 car links or so. If you come in from 4 or 5 car links back and wreck him, then that's definitely going to stick with him. Here, if you're right on his back bumper, you get him a little out of the groove. It's a different story, but still.
Look, Kyle Larson on somebody for, you know, $50. Was it at the? It was at the Indianapolis road course, right? Where the brakes just didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd do that. Like, it's $50. Like, you either take $50 or a chance to win a championship that has good prizes, but you might still get beat.
Right.
I'm taking $50.
Taking $50 now.
Right now.
I'm still confused by that Kyle Larson incident. That's one of the most mind-boggling things I've seen. Because he's like, yeah, the brakes were fine. Or they said, oh, the brakes were working on his car. It's like, so you're just going to tell me that one of the most talented racers of all time just forgot there was a corner ahead? Or what? Like, I don't understand that.
I feel like that was PR.
I don't understand how that's good PR, though. It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah.
No, not good PR. I'm talking like them playing it up, like saying, oh, the brakes were fine. I think the brakes were wrong or bad.
Right. I don't understand, though, why people are like, oh, well.
Justin L. Johnson went around.
Yes, he did. Here's out of 4.
Off the back of Casey Brown.
And he just gets into the back of him and it spins him around.
Interesting.
It was physics at work there somehow, some way. The top 3 still separated by a second. Pretty much a dead even split. Half a second from Cade McClenney back to Randy Arms. Half a second from Randy Arms to Cale McClenney. And then 3 seconds back to Sartaj Mann and Magnus Anderson. And they're both loose coming off turn number 4. Andrew Tenold right there. And another 2 seconds back to the second half of the field, Zach Range. Casey Brown, Scarbo, William Bowman. And then Nick Miller with big damage. Kyle Ritchie had to spin through the grass, and we just saw it happen to Justin Johnson. And then out of the race, Devin Galvin, Chad Adams, Doug Ezel, and Corbin Simmons, Michael McElroy in the admin booth here tonight. Did not start the race.
Man said Corbin Simmons.
He shouldn't even join as a driver, so oh well.
He doesn't exist to me.
These guys still going at it. Sartaj Mann, Magnus Anderson. And they're all, again, just very loose off of 4. Was Magnus leading a couple laps ago. Tenold before that. Now here comes the 49. Tenold gets a piece of the wall. They're giving each other no room. Inside of 40 laps to go. It's going to go by quickly. 19.5 second lap times. Fall off just over half a second. As Randy Arms is trying to keep touch with Cade McClenney. It's 0.8 of a second. He's now closer to Cale than he is Cabe. It's really a 3-car race. It still is.
And Cale will definitely take you out for that. You know,
$25.
$25 or a high five.
You know how many times you go to Taco Bell with that?
On it.
This is for the last couple spots here in the top 10. Looks like Magnus was able to break away from this pack now. As we're going to catch lap traffic here in the final handful of laps. What does Justin Johnson and Nick Miller do? Teammates for Tri-Racial Racing. Probably not the night they were expecting. Definitely not the night they hoped for. I don't think there's any known problems between them and Cabe McClenny, so they don't have a teammate.
That last name might have something to do with it.
Maybe if you're Nick Miller, and around goes Justin Johnson. Well, he goes a lap down and then some. Yellow is out. Did not expect that. Well, how about that, huh? So that was...
Hold up. I'll be right back.
So we saw him get into the back of, I believe it was Casey Brown that sent him around. I almost wonder if there was like a failure of some sort. He's gassing it up, gassing it up, gassing it up. These are teammates, so it's an all-star race. There shouldn't be any problems. But that was an interesting one, and again, the physics there confused me slightly. Nick Miller took that like a champ right in the right rear, and it spun the 15. I don't even know if there was contact made, but I'm not sure about that one at all. I was going to say Nick Miller, he stayed out. Uh, 40 lap older tires, that's not going to work for him with 30 to go. I respect the effort. Andrew Tenold, I believe, gets the wave around, and really not sure what that was about. These were supposedly teammates coming into tonight. Probably not anymore. And Nick Miller dropped due to upload packet loss. Just wanted to confirm while he was dropping down the order. So the internet didn't hold out for him anyways. And I'm all sorts of confused.
Yeah.
So Nick Miller does that to, again, supposedly teammates. And then immediately drops like he has so many times before. And Tenold was going to get a wave around, and he's not. He's now a lap down. I think he got caught on pit road. He spent too much time in the pits. That gives us 12 cars. Back to Justin Johnson, who just got the wave around. He wrecked Nick Miller. Nick Miller wrecked him, and all sorts of confused.
Yeah, I don't...
Totally lost. No explanation. But this is going to shake up the All-Star race inside of 30 to go. 11 cars on the lead lap. Talent, I believe, is only the one lap down, and here we go. 05 gets another good restart, trying to bring his brother right through to second. Town was one lap down. They all came in for 4 tires. Put whatever fuel they might have needed in the car. They're trying to cement the McClenny 1-2 here. Money on the line for second. Randy's not going to want to give it up. Nick Miller has rejoined the race, but it's not going to matter.
Randy did give it up. He backed it down, dropping a third. He wants to get a better line here.
So by side for fourth behind him. Magnus Anderson, Sartaj Mad Magnus. This is as far up as he's been tonight. In that fourth position. And Kale was quicker. Last lap, 18.8. The only driver to do that tonight. "24 laps to go." Cabe responds with an 18.7. First one to do that tonight. What a response. He has looked in control for 90% of this race. Kale led probably 15 to 20 laps early in the race, but other than that, all Cabe McClenny.
Yeah, I wish we knew which one was, you know, the bigger and younger brother so we could see who was really... Because, I mean, there is a power dynamic.
There is. Oh, tunneled around. He saves it, and William Bowman not able to avoid. Tenold going to get back going. That was a big one. That's not what we need to see. Here's what we wanted to see. Into turn number 3, just drives it in there too deep. Catches the curb, loses it a second time. And nowhere for William Bowman to go. Zach Range, he was up to 4th, then kind of got jostled around in a couple of different incidents, so that's why he's back down in 9th. But 20 coming to 19 to go. And Kale has closed the gap from half a second to 3 car lengths. And another car length there through 3 and 4, so he is there with 19 laps to go. Half a tenth quicker last lap. Randy waiting if something happens between the brothers.
I mean, at this point, you got to be negotiating, right?
Let's just split the proceeds.
50-50.
Let's go on board here. Look at the focus there. From Cabe McClenny. Don't see his brother in the room racing with him. Probably in the next room over in the house maybe or something. Not in the same room though. Not doing a land race. But he looks to be in complete control in the cockpit. And it's pretty steady. Almost expressionless as he tries to bring this race home and get $50 to his name. He's now 0.4 of a second clear of his brother. This field works their way into turn number 1. Lap traffic ahead. Andrew Tenold and Justin Johnson. Justin Johnson stays out of the way. That'll give us 10 cars on the lead lap. Very respectful. He's got damage. They're one of the more bizarre incidents we've seen on the channel.
Something also very interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen him actually come back for a race. Nick Miller is back. And he's running right in front of the McClennies.
He's come back after he's dropped a couple of times.
Has he?
He has.
I still find it interesting since it is, you know,
an
an all-star race.
And he finally got a front clip on it. How about that? Never say die attitude from his pit crew.
Do we know when the next season starts? I don't know when the next season starts.
We got to finish season 2 first. We got championships to decide for both of those. Be sure to stay tuned to all the Xfinity Racing Series socials. We will announce that information when we receive it. We got to get through a 5-race playoff. Season 2 will end December 4th for the Next Gen Series. And the Next Up Series will end December 6th. As there is heavy lap traffic now. They're going to have to go 3 wide. Around Andrew Tenold and Nick Miller right there. And trying to stay out of the way.
Nick Miller's not.
This would help Randy Arms, if anybody, because it's a McClenny 1-2. Yeah, Miller's right in front of the leader here. Not sure if he thinks Cabe has anything to do with it, and he's going to go to the low side. I think he'll let him by, maybe. No, not quite. When it's your brother behind you, you don't have to sweat as much, and the 05 will get clear. That was a little interesting.
Nick Miller hit the wall there.
But his beef shouldn't be with
That
Cabe McClenny. It should be with Cale McClenny, if anybody. And yeah, it's on. With 6 laps to go, high drama here.
Randy Arms and Kyle Ritchie are right there. If something happens, there could be a fight between those two too.
Yeah, so Cabe's got this locked up. They're all about to start wrecking behind him. I mean, look how Nick Miller drove that in. Here comes Randy, and there goes Nick Miller around. There goes Randy Arms around. Yellow is out.
And I think Cale wants to try and keep his second place. I think he's going to lose it there where the caution came out.
Yeah, but Nick Miller sent it in pretty deep.
And he's gone. He was removed.
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised by that. His internet disconnected, so he rejoined, which he's allowed to do, and then he waited on Cale McClenny for a wreck that had happened way, way, way earlier in this race. So he expressed his displeasure, and he was removed for it. So hope it was good, and Kyle Ritchie's got a shot to win this race. We'll have a green-white checkered here. And Cabe is obviously not going to be thrilled with that. He was walking away with it, but let's take a look at what happened here. If you remember, again, I don't even think it was that bad. The 07, I mean, just barely touched Nick Miller earlier in the race. It sent him around. He holds him up on the bottom, drives it in very deep. I mean, he absolutely sends it just to hold him up. Think of, Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick at Bristol. That's exactly what this is, except it ends in a physical crash. And the 07 says, all right, well, I'm just going to have to run you over because you won't get out of the way. He parks it right in front of him, and that gets Randy all jacked up. Innocent bystander here. Kyle Ritchie gets into the back of him. No big damage there. And that was that.
And that's going to open up a lot of questions because, I mean, that's your season 1 champion.
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty big penalty. I mean, you're coming out intentionally changing, going after leaders because of what happened to you. There are be questions to be asked. Penalties dished out. Chance that, he's not back. Oh, yeah. He's in chat. Remind you, McQuiggan and Drew only got suspended.
Yeah, there is a one-race suspension for an intentional wreck, so we don't expect to see him back probably for the opening race of the playoffs. But, yeah, tempers running high in the All-Star race. Non-points, $50 on the line. It's pretty heated. But Kyle Ritchie has another shot at it. Cale McClenny going to have a shot at it. Randy Arms right there. Damage. I'd say it's pretty obviously intent when he slows down and waits on him. But 20 laps down on an all-star race, I think that's, the context clues say it all. at least up here in the broadcast booth. But final restart of the night, potentially. The 05 jumps well. The 07 is loose. Kyle Ritchie finds himself in the money with 2 laps to go. And he wants to win.
Get it back around to, you know, the white. We're going to see one of the biggest sins, probably bigger than Nick Miller's. I mean, do you do it into 1 and 2, or do you wait to 3 and 4?
And here comes Cale McClenny. He probably feels like he was second best car all night.
I think Kyle Ritchie went defensive there.
And he's going to. Randy trying to hold off Magnus. What do we see into 3? I don't think they're close enough.
No.
It's going to be Cade McClenny dominant. And Kyle Ritchie comes home second. Drag race to the line. Cale McClenny rounds out the podium. And that is utter dominance.
They're wrecking up.
And he is burning it down the whole lap in style. Why not? He's the dominant car for the entire night.
But we had Sartaj Man, you know, expressing his displeasure with the 07.
Oh, yeah. He did not make many friends tonight. Let's take a look at it. Right after the race was over. See, this is a better way to go about it, though, after the race. And the 49 has more of, probably of a right to do that. Because he was, I mean, the contact between him and the 07 was no question. Again, the whole issue I have with the Nick Miller incident, I mean, looking at the replay, there was such a light contact, you cannot say that it was done, like, intentionally that early in the race, but whatever transpired, transpired. Tennell gonna burn it down. It's an all-star race. Why not? No rules. This is not a Polish victory lap. It's something else. It's a good burnout. Yeah, I wonder. I'll be very interested to hear this. The McClenny brothers celebrating. I certainly don't imagine that Cabe was like, hey, we need to wreck that competition, so we'll see. Let's get him up in here. Here with your race winner, Cabe McClenny, puts on a clinic in the Next Up Series, comes up to the Next Gen Series, wins the race, and absolutely dominates the All-Star race, wins $50 here tonight at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, that was a race. Once I saw it was North Wilkesboro on the schedule, I didn't know what cars obviously at the start of the season, but this has always been one of my best short tracks. And then I saw it was ARCA. I'm like, oh yeah, we got a pretty good chance at it. So I knew Cale was getting ARCA. He was practicing all week and then ran the Open. And so I know his race got screwed. Everybody was butthurt at the end, but that was Cale's show out race. So I'm proud of what he was able to do there, because he should have probably gotten second, and then they ended up screwing him there at the end. But no, Cale did a hell of a job. He ran with last year's cup champion, and this season's points leader, so I'm proud of him. But yeah, I'll take the $50. I'll use that probably for some diecast or something. Probably, well, I want to be racing in 2 weeks, so I might put it towards racing in real life. But
there you go.
Overall, actually, pretty good race.
But yeah, it was the McClenny show for the longest time here tonight. You put it on pole. Cale started in 5th, worked his way up, got around you for a little bit. And you were kind of right on each other's tire tracks there for a little bit. He caught the wall at one point, fell a little bit back, and then fought back up to second. So we got to ask, is it older or younger brother?
I'm older.
All right.
And he's younger. It's 22 months apart. And the way that we tell people to remember it is B for big, L for little. That's kind of the way to remember it.
Fair enough. So I'm just, what was the power dynamic racing him? I was like, hey, little brother, get out the way. I got to, you know what I mean? Is there anything like that going on? Yeah.
He's been practicing all week, and I know he wanted this one. He's always been good at ARCA and North Wilkesboro, so I knew he was going to be quick. He was definitely good on the short run.
Right.
And was able to get around me. I was going, and I just couldn't get around him. So at the start of the race, and then there at the end, Randy was catching Cale, and Cale was catching me. And I'm like, that would have been a great battle, and then I got messed up. So I was kind of like, I was waiting for that 3 wide across the finish or something, but man, that would have been a hell of a race. But no, he's gotten a lot better than what he used to be. He just needs to figure out the 1.5 miles and how to save tires now.
Right. So as the older brother, when you look in the rearview mirror, you see some incidents. Guys getting it. You're leading the race. Kale's third, guy in second. 2 different times. Obviously, I don't think either were intentional. It caused some drama late there. What are you thinking in your head? It's like, oh, or is we joked, oh, it's under a table agreement. You wreck my competition as a younger brother, take all the heat off me, and I scamper off the victory lane. But just as it's just interesting dynamic that you see in your rearview mirror. You're just like, come on, little bro.
Watching him in real life, he was running a little bit further back this week. So yesterday, Sunday, we were racing, and there was a wreck. I was like, "Where's Cal at?" And I asked where he was at. Spotter said he was all good. So I'm always asking where he's at in real life, and there I end up watching Cal more in the mirror than I do out the windshield. So I'm like, just make sure you stay off him. He's like, I'm not trying to. I'm just faster. I don't mean to run into him.
Right.
They just make a mistake, and I get up underneath them. And I'm like, I know, but just you're fast enough. Get to the field, and then I try to coach him a little bit. He'll get mad at me. So I try to keep him calm and give him as much advice as I can. But he trusts me a lot, and I try to help him as much as I can with that stuff. So.
Fair enough. Yeah. That's a good older brother there. But yeah, definitely. Like I said, you dominate in the next up series. 3 wins from 8 races there. You come in, win a race in the next gen, and get the All-Star race to bag. So just a dream season for you, and just a matter of time till you're officially promoted to next gen, and looking forward to seeing you full-time there. And just, again, massive congratulations on a highly successful season thus far.
Yeah, thank you. Just thank you guys for broadcasting, ARS for doing an All-Star race and letting me run it. I'm glad we did ARCA because I feel like next gens are way too easy to run and stuff. So I'm fine with ARCA. That was difficult to drive, so I had fun with that one. But thank you guys for broadcasting, and check out my YouTube channel, KO5.
All righty. Well, congratulations again, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Here with your second place finisher, Kyle Ritchie, $25 richer. Biggest mover tonight to boot, and just kind of a crazy race for you. Joined late, didn't get a whole lot of practice in, starts at the back. You work your way up slowly but surely over that first run, and then you kind of get caught up in some stuff mid-race, head towards the back, and you charge back right up to the front. And then obviously we get a late caution. And what were you thinking on that final restart with a chance to win the All-Star race?
Well, I didn't want to do what Dylan did and try to wreck the leaders, so I wanted to race clean and respectfully, so that's what I did. And Dylan was giving me crap because I didn't wreck him, so that's why I'm here and he's not.
There you go. Yeah, teammates in your ear like, hey, we need the money, wrecking up all these cars. But yeah, good way to do it. Obviously, race them clean if you can. Don't want any enemies going into the playoffs for sure. But you come out of here with a solid finish, biggest mover. I mean, it was hard to pass, but you were one of the few that were doing it consistently, going to the back to the front twice. So that was an impressive display you put on here tonight.
It was. It took a few laps to get going. I definitely had a longer in car, so the first half of the race I loved, and then we started wrecking, and that was not so much fun. Then I got wrecked, and then it just went all out.
Yeah, but good recovery at the end. You take advantage of some misfortune of others right at the death, and come out of here $25 richer. And where are you going for lunch this week with the winnings?
Well, probably Zaxby's. That's where I go every Thursday for lunch. So
Man of the people right there.
Zaxby's.
Well done.
Right.
Absolutely love it. Alrighty, well, congratulations on getting some free Zaxby's tonight, maybe. Good race, well driven, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you, guys.
And then here with the younger brother, Cale McClenny, we heard a little bit about your race from the older brother. Pretty amped up about the ARCA North Wilkesboro combination, and you showed it early with some good speed. This is the first time we've talked to you. We've seen you race personally on our channel. Obviously, you race in the Wednesday night series. Just a little bit blunt. You made some enemies out there. It was pretty clear as we headed toward the late stages of that race. Didn't look like anything, dastardly or intentional, but obviously an all-star race, non-points race, people racing, for cash prizes. They'll take it how they want to see it or whatever. Just kind of talk me through the mindset, racing with some guys for the first time, and then obviously what happened there at the end.
Well, I know in my ear I had my brother telling me, well, you're running with the points leader right now in the cup. And then I was also racing, obviously, right behind Nick there on the thing, and he won last year's championship, is what Bubba was telling me in my ear. And I mean, I didn't mean to get into him there, but it shows when you run kind of ARCA stuff. It just when you make a mistake and someone's there, it happens. But I mean, I understand why he was frustrated, but it is what it is. I can't. I had to keep my mind clean once after that, and just kept going. And after that, we got put to the back for another incident on accident, and drove our way back through the field. And yeah, those last, I think right before the green white checkered. Yeah, I can't tell you about that one.
Right. But nevertheless, you had great speed tonight. It was a pleasure watching you race for the first time. Definitely added some excitement to this All-Star race, one way or another. Probably not the way that you would have hoped, but you get the high five from Michael McElroy to tell him to head out to wherever you're at. Unfortunately, we don't no money for third, but
Yeah.
you could argue maybe you should have been second, just if things go down a little differently. But you had good speed here tonight, and it was fun watching you race.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on a definitely hard fought third place, and best of luck as you continue on in the next step series.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'll need it.
Alrighty. I think we got just a couple other people. We'll just go ahead and Randy and Magnus get the top 5 in here. Why not? It's All-Star night. Randy!
Hello.
You were right in the middle of all that on that last caution. What the heck did you see out there?
Some tempers, I believe, is what I saw, or hurt feelings, or something along those lines.
Short track racing, right?
Yeah, short track racing. Sucks that it came down to that at the end. Us 3 up front I think it was shaping up to be a pretty good finish. But all in all, to be able to stay with Gabe and Kale there, they were obviously really fast. That run, but I got kind of stuck in between them there. I kind of learned some stuff, and it kind of helped me out, so I was able to at least have a chance there at the end. I mean, it was fun. It just sucks how it ended.
Yeah, definitely. You were the first one to do a green flag pit stop here tonight. We did not see a lot of that. I know we talked to McElroy pre-race. He said 80 to 90. What was the thought? I think he pitted around lap 60. Was the tires just that bad, the fall off, or what was the mindset there on that?
Yeah, I wasn't very nice to him that first run, and I was starting to lose some time. So I was like, I'll try something, and maybe it'll pay off, or say in the end. But had the yellow that kind of screwed that up. Was able to get the lucky dog there and stay on the lead lap, and then had a few other cautions and got my track position back. But yeah, just I knew I couldn't outrun him, at least not early on, so I figured I might as well try something.
And like I said, the caution was like the worst time caution. You didn't even get to see the strategy play out. But yeah, it looked like the car was a handful to drive tonight. We had a lot of single car spins towards the back of the field that weren't called, and then most of the cautions tonight were guys kind of snapping loose and getting up into others. What was the ARCA car like tonight?
Yeah, it was kind of a handful. If you drove it in too hard, it'd want to get loose. Then if you couldn't get it to rotate the center right, then you'd have too much wheel in it on exit, then it would want to snap on exit. So yeah, it was just really you really had to run the line just perfect, or it was definitely a handful.
Yeah, definitely. But you were fighting there all night long. You looked like you had some race-winning speed at times, and then definitely a top 3 car at minimum, and then obviously we get the green-white checkered, and kind of all bets are off there, and you come home 4th here tonight. But not a bad night. Definitely, just, non-points, just out there running for fun. And then your attention turns towards playoffs next week.
Yeah. I don't even remember where we're at, to be honest with you. I know that's sad.
Yeah, we got a week figured out. You're good. We head to Chicagoland, though.
Chicagoland, okay, that'll be fun. Yeah. Just try to keep my consistency that I kind of built there towards the end of the regular season. The season started kind of up and down, but we kind of got some consistency there right before the All-Star break here. So hopefully we can keep that up. Just try to get some good finishes now that I think it's just whoever has the most points at the end of playoffs, I think, is how we do it now. I don't know, but we'll just give it everything we got, try to win as many races as we can, and see where we end up.
Yeah, it's a 5-race playoff, so it's a sprint to the finish here, and looking forward to seeing how it ends up, and looking forward to seeing it get kicked off next week.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for the time, and we'll see you next week.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Oh, and then here with Magnus Anderson, second biggest mover of the night, +8 from where he started, and you were kind of in the riffraff tonight, getting caught up in all sorts of stuff. Got the battle scars to prove it. You come home with a top 5. What'd you see out there tonight?
Yeah, I was ping pong ball all over the place. I think I hit the cup a few times, but I'm not sure.
But it looked like in that second half of the race, even despite that, obviously had a little bit of damage, multiple parts of the car. But it looks like you were still able to move forward, and then obviously on that last restart, kind of anything goes. And what was the mindset lining up there, just on that final restart?
I don't know. The McKennies have always been good to me. Am I saying that? McKenley? There we go.
McClenny? Yeah.
McClenny. There we go. I haven't had an issue with them, so I didn't want to hit them. Obviously, Kyle Ritchie, I don't have any problems with him. And Randy, I don't have any problems with him. So I was just like, I'm going to just race clean and, just try to get a few spots or get something to happen. And didn't really work out. But, when you're ping pong balling around the whole race, you kind of take yourself out of it.
Right. Yeah, I think, with all that, you'd probably at the end of the night, we'll take P5, top 5, non-points race, and you'll just look forward to giving it all for the final 5 weeks of the season. Yeah,
I'm just happy that I didn't lag out. My rig is C-clamped, like my wheel is C-clamped to the desk at my hotel in Chicago.
Oh my goodness.
I've been up here for work. It is very cursed, but I'm just happy I didn't drop out of the race or anything like that. I know I ran into the back of someone. I didn't even hear him say anything, but oh well, I made one mistake this season, and there's a lot of people that made a lot more, so.
Yeah, the dedication to racing a hotel is something that is pretty impressive, so there you go.
Next week I'm going to be here too, so.
Oh my. Well, it held up this week. Hopefully it does next week, and we look forward to seeing you there in Chicagoland.
I'll be close.
All righty. Have a good one. All righty. Art, that is the All-Star race. Any thoughts? Any final thoughts?
I can't wait to see what happens next week with Nick Miller. If there's a punishment, he's claiming he has video of what happened with the incident, saying he didn't see Justin under the yellow, which that just brings even more things into question with why Justin full throttled him in that corner. It's a weird.
It was a weird
tri-racial racing.
Yeah, they got some team debriefs to get to or something, but oh well. High drama finish.
Last.
Independent driver, no friends.
No friends.
But yeah, definitely an interesting race, and one of the next up drivers won it, although he is, again, well on his way to being a next-gen driver next season. He takes the win here tonight. Cabe McClenny. Kyle Ritchie in the money as well, $25, and Cale McClenny gets a high five from Michael McElroy. We had 11 lead lap finishers, back to Casey Brown, Andrew Tenold, first car laps down, and then obviously Nick Miller internet issues and the whole host of other things that went on tonight, and then further on back down to Devin Galvin, Chad Adams, Doug Ezel, that did not finish tonight's All-Star event. We're back next Monday night as the Next Gen Series kicks off their playoffs at Chicagoland next Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to stay tuned to all the Race Affinity socials. Got some exciting things in the works. Check out the Innocent Lives Foundation for all the charitable work that we partner with them for. And stay tuned to all things YJ, our socials, so you don't miss a second of your favorite drivers and leagues. But y'all take care. Have a great week. And we'll see you back here next Monday night.